Hello, everybody. Dr. Robert Duff here, aka Duff the Psych. If you don't know me, I'm a clinical psychologist from Southern California. I'm also a self help author, podcaster, all that good stuff. And have a quick tip for you today. Please ignore any screaming children you hear in the background. That does happen upon occasion in this household, as is the case with a lot of you working from home right now. But yeah, so quick tip for you. This is something that I have been talking about a lot in therapy and also just in general in life. It's something that I use with myself a lot. It's sort of a mantra. So the mantra is if you can't do the thing, do something. Simple thing, but basically what it's saying is that if you find that you're having a hard time getting something done, for me, oftentimes this is like writing. Okay, I'm working on a book right now. My current project is I'm working on a anxiety book for teenagers, and sometimes I have a really hard time getting to it and actually getting some writing done. So what happens when you're a writer. But when you have something that you've been intending to do, you have a plan, you have a goal, and you can't just get yourself to do it, a lot of times as humans, our tendency is to get into kind of all or nothing thinking territory, to go really polarized thinking with it. So basically, if we aren't able to do the thing we want to do, then it's kind of a wash. We don't do anything. We don't do anything about it. We get frustrated, guilty, annoyed, and end up just like watching TV or doom scrolling on social media or falling into, a rabbit hole with a video game or something like that. Instead, what I suggest is if you can't do the thing, do something. And what that means is, if your goal is right here, take a step back and see if that works for you. If not, take another step back, and keep walking yourself backward until you find a manageable step. So for writing, if I can't open up a document and just let the words flow, what can I do? Could I outline? Could I brainstorm? Could I research? Could I ask somebody else for feedback? Could I read something that gives me ideas? Could I look back at my old notes? There's a lot of steps that I can do aside from actually sitting down and writing if I find that the writing is just not coming, or it's too difficult, or I just can't find the motivation to do so. I can't find the concentration to do so, whatever the case is. And that's it. You just keep walking yourself back until you find a manageable step, because that's going to be better than nothing. And a lot of times when you start with that more manageable step, either you're going to set yourself up in the future for more success, or you're going to find that you find a little bit of inspiration. You find a little bit of that oomph that you need to do the thing that you want to do. There's a lot of other examples that you can do with this. One that I talked about recently with a therapy client was yoga. The individual I was talking to really wants to get back into doing yoga, and they have like some videos that they use. This person in particular is in a wheelchair, so not the same yoga that everybody else is doing, but a more adaptive version of it. But they're having a really hard time getting themselves to do it. So on those days where they can't get themselves to just get up and do the yoga video, what can they do? So walking backward, okay, they could browse for other yoga videos. They could pull out their phone and go into their calendar and actually schedule a time to do the yoga on another day, so that they actually follow through with, kind of their set appointment for themselves. They could research personal trainers or studios that could give them a little bit more accountability. They could talk to a friend and say, hey, do you want to come over and do yoga with me on this day? Or in these days, do you want to hop on Zoom and do yoga with me, or something like that? Regardless of what it is, you can usually walk yourself back until you find a step that's more manageable for you, and start there. That doesn't mean that you have to feel awesome about not being able to do what you intended on, but you also don't need to feel like total shit because you couldn't do that thing. You can always find something to do related to the goal that you have. So that's my advice for you. If you can't do the thing, do something.